Hello, everybody. So I'm just sitting here in my room, and every single one of my media devices are off. Well, except this one, because I'm recording with it. And I'm sitting here, I'm looking around, and I'm just enjoying the stillness, the lack of constantly being bombarded by some kind of stimuli, whether it's color, images, text that I have to read on a screen, video. We don't think about how this affects us mentally. We don't think about how we become reliant upon the quick imbibing of such stimuli. It generates a morphic cycle in your brain, which creates pleasure. We don't realize that, that cycle is pre-current civilized humanity, but it hasn't gone away. We have not evolved past it. So receiving visual stimuli and quick, easy, instant stimuli is endomorphic, which means it's giving you the same pleasure as morphine. One of the reasons morphine works, or opium works, is because it is a similar, if not the same chemical that your body uses to create those stimulations. Same thing with cannabinoids. There's cannabinoid receptors in every single part of your body. This is why cannabis has its effect. Plants are ingenious. I was reading today a book by Lierre Keith, who is an ex-vegan who evolved over time to understand a larger picture of how humans and animals and plants interact in a symbiotic environment. And she made a point about, we look at us conquering these plant species, but what if it's the other way around? Wheat, rice, maize, we are promoting their species every time we plant them all over the earth. And she was saying something about, why did humans begin agriculture? Because it's historically, anthropologically true that our health outcomes diminished. So it wasn't beneficial for us. But why did we do it? And so she mentioned, well, it couldn't be because we had overpopulation. Because the overpopulation happened after, not before. So in other words, we didn't have a whole lot of people and we needed to produce this so we could eat. That didn't happen. And, there's a lot of different explanations, happenstance, accident, as a reservoir of food for starvation, as a reservoir of food to feed the animals that we domesticated. And there's a lot of different explanations. But she came up with an interesting one. And that was that plants tend to produce chemicals that animals and humans will go get, even if it affects them in a negative direction. Like, alcoholics will drink until they're dead, even if it's affecting them negatively. There are certain mushrooms that animals will go out and eat and seek out to eat, even if it kills them. Elephants will drink wine until they're drunk. So the first domesticated plant was opium. And it so happens that wheat has chemicals that are small, mild opiate type chemicals. They have the same response. but not as potent. So you're not going to get like, whoa, hallucinogenic, but you're going to get a pleasure receptor. And so, maybe there's something to that. If you eat something that makes you feel pleasure, you're more likely to eat again. The food industry does this all the time, especially the fast food industry. There's food enhancers is what they call them, but they're really pleasure stimulated chemicals. They give you a sense of pleasure when you eat them. Your brain feels satisfied when you eat this stuff. So there's that. But sometimes it's a good idea to just pull back, come to the centrality, and let things come to your brain without being stimulated by anything. And that's what I'm sitting here thinking of. I got this book that I'm reading. It's called The Vegetarian Myth by Leo Keith. Again, written by a 20-year vegan whose health issues were to the point where she couldn't deny that her diet was not doing her any good. And this is someone who lives in Connecticut, or Massachusetts, rather, and has a farm, and has come to a larger understanding about the symbiotic relationship between plants, humans, and animals. It's much more complicated. It's not simplistic. And, seeking a moral issue is going to be colored by your anthropomorphism. There's this guy, or I say guy, it could be a girl, I have no idea, but someone is putting a tag underneath stop signs in various parts of the outer Sunset, and I've seen it in some stop signs in Richmond: stop eating animals. Okay, because, and that's it, simple slogan. Okay, I can get, maybe you have some moral reason, but that's such a simplistic way of looking at things. We have existed with animals, have eaten animals, other animals eat animals. There's predator-prey relationships that are essentially necessary for the benefit of both animals. So if you want to say one is predatory upon the other, and that's terrible and awful, and we shouldn't do that, we want to protect those other species, but honestly, without that relationship, both animals fall apart. And it looks like happening with deer, because the predators that would normally inhibit the growth population of deer are pretty much gone. They're exploding population. They're destroying forests and habitats. It's a real thing. Just look that up. Just do a Google. Overpopulation deer in North America. I haven't done it, but I'm sure that'll pull up a whole lot of stuff that will blow your mind. We oversimplify these relationships. There's an inherent balance between our purpose in our life and other species' purpose in their life. And we see ourselves as in control when we're not thinking at the macroscopic level. When our species is done because we basically tried to export this domination strategy of monoculture, whether that's putting animals in cages and feedlots, or stripping land of every single life form except the inputs, the genetically modified seeds, the petrochemical fertilizers, yada yada. That's going to run its course. It is not sustainable. And so we're gone. The other species would still be around. They'd be like laughing at our ass. Like, yeah, we used you. We used you. We knew long term you dumbasses would think you're superior, but we knew better. Again, it's a trip. Anyway, I just thought I'd check in. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'm trying to remember to comb my hair on a regular basis. Other than that, peace out.